Guys, how are you? Let's see, we have a lot of things going on today. Kind of slow news day, but the Fed, are they going to be buying bonds? And are they buying stocks? I think they are, we'll see. The dollar, is it now in favor? There's a lot of people out there, mainly hedge funds, that are switching from their short position on the dollar to long. So let's see about that also. Kathy Woods, my girl, what's she have to say lately? And I want to go over something very important for you guys. PDUFA dates and the FDA. It's important to know these dates. So that, your questions next. What's up, guys? Let's do it. So, all right, you said something. I want to go over first thing. Well, first, let's look at the market. Right now, futures are down a little bit. We have Matt Damon talking about things. That's cool. S&P's up a bit. Nasdaq's up a bit. We'll see what's going to happen today. But the first thing that I want to talk. Well, first, before we do anything, I want to look at the yields. Look at these yields. Our 3-month note is almost about to go negative again. This is the second time in 12 months that we've done this, maybe 13 months. This is crazy. So what this is basically saying is, if you loan your money to the government in a 10-month or a 3-month treasury yield, a 90-day note, you are going to get back 0.01% on your money, which is truly, truly incredible. I can't believe that's real. But we're seeing that the 10-year is bumping up. I mean, I talked about this last show. When you get the yield curve to invert, people freak out. So this is good because there's separation. I don't know if it's good or not, but if your 3-month yield is higher than the 10-year note, that is when panic ensues. We've seen that a couple times in the last 10 years, I guess. We saw it when we were, yeah, Gil, I mean, you're losing money. You're basically, if you're doing the 3-month note, you are giving, I mean, you're paying the government to hold your money. It's insanity. But we've seen this inverted yield curve a couple times in the past decade. When it happens, chaos ensues. It happened March and April of last year. So let's see. I want to talk about what the Fed is doing. So Ray Dalio, who I used to respect greatly, founder of Bridgewater Capital, the biggest hedge fund in the world. I really liked him, excuse me, until he said cash is trash back right before the big pullback that happened in March and April of last year. So what he's saying is the Fed will need to buy more bonds as an oversupply of Treasury drives up yield. So this is more just balancing out what it's just like fixing a bad situation with another bad situation, just delaying what's happening. Hit the like button. There's 22 likes and 90 some people watching, 100 people watching. So recent fiscal stimulants announced by the Biden administration will result in more bond sales to finance spending, worsening the supply-demand problem for bonds, which will exert upward pressure on the rates. So obviously what we've seen in the past, let's say month, the rates, we have had increasing 10-year notes, which has put pressure on specifically the NASDAQ and tech stocks. So that will prompt the Federal Reserve to buy more, which will exert downward pressure on the dollar, which is interesting because that's kind of counterintuitive to what I'm going to say in the next story. But this is nothing new. I mean, if you don't think that the government is in there, if the Fed is not already buying bonds and buying stocks, and I know that this is a large topic of discussion, and people say that the government should not buy stocks, which they should not buy stocks, but they are already indirectly buying stocks. If you are giving money to corporations and letting them buy back their shares, come here, that's called buying stocks. That's what they're doing. They're indirectly doing it. So, no. They're going to do it. They're definitely going to do it. Even though Jerome Powell, he did say that monetary policy is going to not change, but we're going to see changes. So let's go to the dollar thing. The hedge funds have finally switched their short positions on the dollar, and now they're going short on other currencies, and they're going long on the dollar. So for those of you that are talking about gold, and I mean, you guys know I have a big position in gold. It might suffer a little bit according to what the hedge funds are betting on, but I mean, according to what Dalio is saying on the other side is not true. So who knows what's going to happen? All of this is way too complex for me to understand. I mean, it's gotten so out of control with all these different ways of moving markets back and forth. I can't keep it straight anymore. But we'll just roll with it and see what happens. So there are bearish bets on the yen, the euro, and switched from and the New Zealand dollar. But I mean, people are going back to the dollar. So we're gonna see what happens. And man, everybody's so focused on this one thumbs down. Guys, it's okay. It's okay. It will be fine. Not everybody likes it. Well, that person might like this because we're going to be talking about how wonderful Cathie Woods is and Tesla, and that's probably the one minion that is mad that I don't like hype stocks. Okay. So Cathie Wood said that Tesla can be a $3 trillion valuation by 2025 and hit $3,000 a share. Noted. So ARK and her, who I guess they expect a 50% chance of Tesla achieving fully autonomous driving within 5 years. Now, the problem I have with this is how many times has Elon Musk said, we're going to have autonomous driving in 3 months, 12 months, this and that. Now we're saying 5 years. And then we're talking about, which would allow the company to scale its planned robo-taxi service. Why don't you put it in a car for a consumer before we start focusing on a totally different business with insurance and liabilities and everything? Why don't we just get it in a car and get it on the street before? I mean, this is nuts. Then they say the best case scenario is $4,000 a share, and they are not going to be This is at their current level of shares outstanding. We know that Tesla is going to increase their shares outstanding over a 5-year period. It's just, it's great. It's going to happen. And then they say Tesla's unit sales for that period is between 5 and 10 million vehicles in 2025. Last year they did 500,000 vehicles, and I think that was a record. Where are we going to, I mean, the optimism for this company. I love their cars. I love Elon Musk, but the optimism for this company is just, it's just out of control. I just don't get it. I forgot I highlighted this. Analysts have speculated about the prospect Tesla will launch a robo-taxi service since at least 2015, but there's little indication that the technology is close to making its way into the market. And also, this model did not incorporate their energy business, solar business, so all that's, they're all of their roofing stuff and whatnot, their Bitcoin holdings. So, yeah. Kevin, are you the one talking to me about how you're getting smoked in Tesla? I think you are, but it'll get better for you. Don't worry. All right. Last story, and I just want to talk to you guys about this because I want you to be aware of these dates. If you guys are invested in biotech, you need to know FDA dates, PDUFA dates, etc. They are very important because these are what the companies are all about. News. This is their news. Just like you get a new iPhone, this is their news. So I don't recognize these companies. Rubis, I don't know. Marker, I don't know. I highlighted Bristol Myers because everybody knows Bristol Myers. They have a drug for multiple myeloma that's going to be discussed this weekend. Yeah, the FDA will announce Saturday its decision. So that's going to be a big one. Pfizer's doing something. They're having a meeting coming up this week. Eli Lilly. And then you have this list of the companies. This is just from Yahoo Finance. You guys can go find it there. I found this interesting. So you guys have listened to, excuse me talk about this biotech company that I used to own, and I was a 1% owner of the company. This was Cytodyne. And the reason I love Cytodyne is because they were doing amazing, amazing treatment in the HIV world. They were coming out with, so for HIV patients, typically they've always had to take one injection or one pill or some kind of form of delivery each day as their form of continuing treatment. Cytodyne came up with a way to give an injection with one injection every 6 days, which is a big deal if you're getting stuck every single day. Anybody who's diabetic knows what it's like to get stuck every single day or multiple times a day. Then they decided to switch their entire business model from that to taking their drug leronlimab to doing triple metastatic breast cancer, which was phenomenal, and it was working very well. Then coronavirus hit, and they went full-blown coronavirus. And I was like, all right, well, I don't like companies that especially small companies, that moved into going full-blown chasing coronavirus. That just wasn't my thing, especially if you have other things going on. So I've said it multiple times. Stick with what you're good at. I know why they did it. I mean, the government was giving them money, so everybody's going to go for free money from the government. But yeah, I don't know. To me, leave it up to the big boys for the coronavirus vaccine. And when we're looking at it now, who came out with the coronavirus vaccine? It's the big boys: Moderna, Pfizer, J&J, AstraZeneca's they're being talked a lot about today on CNBC. So yeah, all right. Well, you guys give me some stocks, and we'll go over them. If you want to talk about anything else, I'm happy to talk about it, and we will go from there. I'm going to do SWBI because Cash wanted it. Oh, Smith & Wesson. Okay. Cash is a member of the Bid and Ask Nation, and the kid's killing it. I mean, he's just doing extremely well. I think he's paid off his entire year of his Patreon membership in 1 month, I think. I'm pretty sure. But great guy. All right. SWBI. Okay, this is clearly a Patreon member in my tier because this is a good looking stock. Yeah, Cash said he's paid off his membership many times over. So This is great what he's found. Let me zoom out. I just want to zoom out real quick to the, yep, perfect stock. So what he's found here is a stock that is coming up through the sweet spot beautifully. We have our red line over yellow. We entered the sweet spot last week. And we're over all 4 of our major moving averages. I love it. I would like to see a little bit better volume. I think with this is a company where you will get money coming into it. Smith & Wesson is a very known company. You will get the big hedge funds moving in. So, yep. Okay, so what do we want to see? We want to see green engulfing candlesticks like this for the next couple days. I would like to see a breakout over this 1934. I would really like to see a breakout over this high. So I really want to see like that. And you can buy it. So cash, I wouldn't buy it right away. I would not be actually, let me go back. If you want to put shares on this, you can. I would not put more than maybe 15, 20% of your total position that you're going to put on there, just because I want to see more of this. And when you get up here and break out above this high, that's when you can really add shares and go after it. So that was a good question. Everything Money did a great video on CACI. I'm looking to buy. Yeah, so I mean, even right now, I didn't mention it, but the bid and ask is 15 cents. But we have to remember we are market's not open yet. It'll settle down. Let me see this CA. I don't even remember looking at this thing. Oh, this is another good one. Oh, snap. Okay, now I see what you're saying about $5. Yeah, let's see what happens. Wait till 10:06. I always like to wait 36 minutes for all the futures to settle down, all of the overnight trading to settle down, all of the minions that are in there trading on Robinhood to settle down. So you're coming through the sweet spot very nicely, and this one's not bad. All you need is one green engulfing candlestick like that, break out over this high, and you should be pretty good. I like the volume that you've had in here. I like that your overall, your major moving averages. So let this settle down, and let's see what we do. What do you set your candlesticks at? So, Susie, all of these candlesticks on both sides are one-day candlesticks. This is a weekly stochastic, though, and this is a daily stochastic down here. And then this is just my volume. I choose to put it over here. This is definitely my more detailed chart. This is my daily chart. To be honest with you, the only reason that I have this chart over here is so I can see the volume and so I can see these moving averages. If I had the ability to put my moving averages and whatnot over on this chart only, I would, because this is where I focus on. All I look at is my trend. That's it. And I look at when I can get a buy signal, when I can get a green engulfing candlestick or a red engulfing candlestick in the negative direction. The only reason that I use both charts is because I want to see more detail over here, just so I know where my support and resistance lines are as far as the moving averages go. I don't need to see these ones right here. I'm experienced enough, and you guys will be experienced enough to do that. Matt, it's fine. Just let the market open, and it's going to change. There might be a glitch on mine. There might be a glitch on yours. Both of our bid and ask differences is going to change drastically when the market opens. Guys, hit the like button. Can you show how plug looks for a short? Sure. And if you guys like to short, if you want to short, shorting is going to become very important when we do get some kind of pullback. There's a lot of money that can be made on the way down. For patrons only, there is a bid. I'm sorry, there's a bid and ask. There is a shorting seminar where I came in on a Saturday, recorded it, answered all your questions, and it was just about shorting. So if you want to learn about that, join the Bid and Ask Nation right now. It's patreon.com/everythingmoney, middle tier, and you can get on with it. So who asked this question? Reed, I think. I do not want to short this right now because just like when we're going up, I want to catch it. I want to catch going up when we break through 32%. When we're coming down, I want to catch it when the red line breaks through 80%. So you missed the sweet spot. You're in the oversold area. You should have been adding, probably this day when you got this big red engulfing candlestick taking out this day right here. So a little bit late. Also, you're fluttering around this 100-day moving average. You're seeing that it can't drop below it. So this is not an ideal short, but when we find another one, I will give it to you. What do you think of Nokia? Everyone keeps asking me about Nokia. I mean, if you guys want to look into Nokia, read the 10K, this and that, go for it. But holy monkey! All right, Don. I think Don is on. This is the day that Don came in my office and he goes, Mo, did you see Nokia? And that's the day I had it, and I went in there and sold my entire position. But so that was all thanks to Don. And I guess this was one of those short squeezes on the GME day, the first GME day. So you can see with Nokia, they're very news driven. Gap, 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 gap. So any gap you see is pretty much all news. That's why I don't like trading stocks like this, just because they fluctuate so much based on an announcement. And it's not necessarily an earnings announcement, because these are not very consistent. They're not every quarter. So they happen more frequently than that. But you were asking me about a huge prospect of future company of value play. If you want to do a value play, you gotta read the 10K. You gotta dig into it. Go look at their financials. That has nothing to do with charting. Let's look at Coke. Coke was the first stock that I ever traded when I was 14 years old. This is pretty. Okay, we're coming up through the sweet spot very nicely. I want to see, do we have a 50%er here? I hope not. Yeah, we do. All right. So, trying to get my portfolio as big as Mo's tracker. Gary, okay, before I go on with Coke, guys, this tracker share thing, I didn't think that you guys would be confused by it, but I literally have, I think I have right now 3 tracker shares. I tell you guys to put a tracker share on because you guys are asking, I have individual people asking me a question. I'm answering that person to say, if you like this, put a tracker share on it. Tracker shares are meant for companies like Coke. This would be a perfect example. No, it wouldn't. What was the other one? What was the one? SWBI? I think that was it. This is a good example of something that I would put a tracker share on if I wanted to, because I'm coming up through the sweet spot nicely. When I get an engulfing, yeah, when you get an engulfing breakout, that's when I'm adding shares. This is something that is so close to me adding shares on that I want to have a tracker share on it. That's why I do a tracker share. I'm not going to do a tracker share on something that is... If I put a tracker share on every stock that I wanted to look at, I mean, I might be broke. Well, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you can go put 10,000 tracker shares out there if you want. All right, back to Coke. First stock I ever traded. Okay, so we're coming up to a sweet spot very nicely. I like that. I do not like that we're sitting right below this 100-day moving average. We've tried to break out over that 100-day moving average a couple times, 2, 3 times in the past month. What I need to see is, so it can't do it. It needs volume. There's no consistent volume here. We had a big day on Friday, but I would like to see green candlesticks like up here for a few days in a row. This is what I want to see. Good volume for like maybe 5, 6, 7 days in a row. That will push this thing through. Coke is going to be one. It's going to go. It's definitely going to go because it's a staple in the United States for every big portfolio manager out there. They have Coke. So what do you want to see? You want to see green engulfing candlesticks moving up. Of course, you need volume to do this. Once you break out above this like 51, 52 area, is that it? Yeah, 52-ish. You can go ahead and add shares to it. So that was a good one. Oh, you're not confused. Okay, good. Well, thanks for making me waste all that time, Gary. I'm just kidding. I heard this place is this is a place to learn about the new iPad. I'm so pumped for the new iPad. I just want to know when the date's going to come out. I want that new iPad Pro because I want to start drawing on it. Seth showed me how to like draw on it during the show and stuff. So that would be great. Qualcomm. Guys, I made a video on Qualcomm. It came out yesterday. Go ahead and watch it. Facebook. I did Facebook on the other day. I doubt nothing has changed. Apple. Oh, that's another thing. Okay, I want to go back to That's what I should have wrote that down. This morning, somebody just reminded me. Kathy Wood. Okay. Going back to this story. We're talking about in 2025, we're going to have Tesla is going to be this dominant in the market. The problem with that, another problem with that I thought of this morning is Apple's coming out with a car. Lucid is coming out with a car. Lucid cars are legit. Those things are going to do something. We know that Apple's going to be able to make some kind of big stamp in the market. What's that other? Rivian. That's another car. So by 2025, there will be more competition in the market. That is the biggest issue that I have with this whole projection from ARK Investments on that. But all right, back to this. What do I think about BlackBerry? I don't know. BlackBerry is BlackBerry. I think they used to make a good product. The nice thing is that they have the infrastructure. Somebody can go and buy that infrastructure. I think, isn't Amazon buying their infrastructure for something? So they don't have to make it from zero. But I mean, this is an ideal stock to do a tracker share on just because this is an ideal pattern. This is not an ideal company because I know what BlackBerry does and doesn't do. But for a company that just is coasting on the bottom like this is why you buy a tracker share. You pay $11 for it and you just wait and wait and wait. Worst case scenario, they go out of business, you lose $11. If you lose $11 on this, I'll Venmo you. Intel, they have Investors Day tomorrow. What is that? Is that like their annual meeting? And TC, I don't know if I own Intel anymore. I know I have puts on Intel. No, I don't have puts on it. It's too expensive now. It's almost $64 a share. All right. Yeah, Intel's overbought. I don't love it up here. If you do want to do something with Intel, go ahead and you can play it when you break out over this new high. Just make sure you're using a stop loss. And I say that because when you are over this 80% area in the overbought area, that's when I want you guys using stop losses because we need to, they have a higher probability of pulling back on us. Guys, hit the like button. There's only 80 likes and 153 watching. Not ideal. All right. Puts on Casey. What was this Casey? I know I did it, and I honestly don't even remember what we said in the video on YouTube. I was telling Paul yesterday, I think it's funny that we do these videos and I have no idea what the videos were that we were doing. So I have a net present value of 15% on Casey. $168 is my top. It's $250 a share right now. I would have to do a much more thorough dive into it, and I would have to really go through and see what the assumptions are going to be and whatnot before I make it. I can't say this is $168. I mean, it could be $230 a share. I don't know. Apple will launch new iPads in April. Okay. All right, cool. Mo, all of my tracker share losses. You guys heard it. I said, what did I say? BlackBerry? All your tracker share losses. Nice try, Reed. All right, I'll do MO because that's my name. And I love cigarettes. Just kidding. I've never smoked a cigarette. The thought of smoking a cigarette is making me cough. All right. Again, you're in that overbought area. Let me see here. Dun, dun, dun. I want to zoom out. Okay, so we have a 50%er. So this is why I don't like this one. You have your high here, you have your low, and then you have this 50% area where the stock has struggled for a very long time because all of this area up here, this is called overhang. And overhang is just negative pressure pushing down on the stock. And what this needs is a ton of volume, actually more volume than these 4 days in a row to really, break through something like that. You can see that it tried to break out here, didn't work. It's tried a couple times to get through that resistance area. It didn't work. It is finally doing it again. Now it's getting to this resistance area. And the reason that things get to this area is when they do get up here, traders and investors will say, okay, well, it got to this point. I'm going to sell and take my profits. Then you get into a little bit of a run. Okay, it got to this point. I got to get out of it. Bounces back down. So that's why it has a hard time because people take profits at that 50% resistance area. So, yes, that is why. All right. Next, I want to do a stock that I own from a trading perspective, and that is Cardinal Health. Let's go look at the 15, see what they're doing this morning. Cardinal Health. Cardinal Health is up to 59 bucks this morning. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, and for those of you that are not patrons, some of you may have remembered that I traded GameStop maybe 3 weeks ago, and I told you that if I made any profits, I would donate it to charity. So I made the trade. I made 10% in 16 minutes, which is just crazy. So I put in 10,000 bucks. I made 1,000. I donated it to the National Alliance of Mental Illness to a chapter in South Florida. They're doing really good things down there. They're trying to help out that mental illness community. They're educating law enforcement and firefighters and ambulance people, paramedics on how to deal with people with mental illnesses and whatnot. So that's that. All right, let's go to Cardinal Health. So what do I want to see on Cardinal Health? I like it. I bought it down here, and right when it broke through that sweet spot area, and it's moving up. So we're getting towards that 80%. This is just perfect. Man, I am so good at this. I'm just kidding. I didn't even find this stock. Somebody else found it. One of my patrons found it. So we're over all of our major moving averages. We're getting up here. We had a little bit of a pullback Friday. No big deal. What I want to see today, and we're opening up around this 57. What I really need to see is some green candlesticks getting through like that. And then we'll be good to go. Here, whoever was asking me about that bid and ask difference, it is 62 cents right now. Let's let the market open, see what happens, and go from there. All right. I will do one more stock, and then I'll get out of here. When you buy any stock, is it always buy at market? So Ian, if I'm buying a stock, usually I'm going to do it at market, and that's because I just don't want to. I mean, sometimes I'll do a limit order, but most of the time I'm just doing a market order. Good question. If I'm buying a ton of shares at one time, I'll do a limit order because I don't want to swing markets. Vocivi? I don't know how to say that name. I never tried to pronounce your name before. I don't do 5 ticker stocks just because they are over the counter. Amgen. Yeah, very good question, Ian. So, let's see. Okay, this is a good tracker share stock, but I know that it's almost $250 a share, so not ideal. But we are moving. I love that we're moving up towards the sweet spot area. So that is wonderful. I love that we're over all of our moving averages, and we have literally had, is that 8 days? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going on, I guess, the 8th day of good buying volume. That's incredible. So really good. When are we having a party? Yeah, maybe we'll have a party. I need this red line to move up like this. Once it breaks into this sweet spot area, over 32%, you can throw some shares on it. So this is a great one for a tracker share, even though I know it's $245 a share. But when you do get that red line moving up, you're going to start seeing green candlesticks like this. And you will face a little bit of resistance here, about 260, but you should be pretty good to go for a while. Amgen, I know they have a pretty decent pipeline. It's not something that I would buy from a value perspective, just because I don't think that their pipeline is the best in the industry, but pretty good. Excuse me. GME earnings, yeah. I'm interested. I kept hearing about this GME earnings over and over. The thing is like GameStop has had this crazy notability and everything, but they probably haven't sold any more video games. So that's kind of awkward. Let's see. Discovery. I'll do one more because it's Bogdan. Oh, yeah. Okay. Power stock. I'm going to teach about power stocks. This is your absolutely ideal power stock. So when I talk about power stocks, it's a company that is making new 52-week highs over. So this is its 52-week. Let's call this its 52-week high right here. So making new 52-week highs and just keep laddering up over and over over all 4 of its major moving averages. And the tighter the cluster, you can see, just look how tight this is. The tighter the cluster, the better. So you could have bought this thing. Let me zoom in just a little bit. I like it zoomed out like this so I could show you guys the entire chart and see how tight the cluster is. So right when we broke through 32%, you could have grabbed shares and just kept buying and buying and buying. And look at, I mean, as you buy, your price goes up. Okay, now we're in the overbought area right here. So we cross into that overbought area. That doesn't mean sell. It just means maybe put a stop loss on your position. And you can see just as we've gone sideways, 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 a little bit of a dip here, but just keeps going sideways over 80%. You can just see the stock price just keeps going up, up, up. So, and this cluster is just so perfect. This is what you want to see with a power stock. Instead of a thing that's like this, and here's your moving averages down here, you don't want to see something like way up here and then way down here. You want to see tight, 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 very little fluctuations in price. Here you had a little bit of selling going on, but even then it was a kind of a snapback. So this is great, just perfect. Good job, whoever found this. I know I was invested in this for some time, but it was from a value perspective. So, all right, guys. Yeah, check out the Trading 101 series. Like Seth said, there it is. He just put it in the link. It's very good. So before I even started, I said that those were my first videos that I ever made in front of a camera. And I was so uncomfortable and it was weird and I didn't want to do it. And then I just asked the Bid and Ask Nation the other day. I said, do you guys want me to remake the videos? I can do them from, I'm better at this now and it's more fluid and I know kind of what you guys want. And they're like, no, we love these videos. Do not touch them, leave them. So there you go. You can have them. And they're great. They're free for everybody. If you like them, join the Bid and Ask Nation. Remember, when you join my tier, you get full access to me. You get full access to the entire community on Discord, obviously. I answer your questions. I make short little videos for you. If you ask me about Discovery, I would make you a short little video if I thought it was important enough to, which this one was. And then remember, you also get all of the Everything Money software. And this is software that Paul and I were using, are going to use for our family offices. We were literally making this for ourselves, paying for it out of our own pockets for ourselves. And this is how we were going to invest. And now you guys are going to have it. So you're going to be investing the same way as us. So all the software is yours. That is ours for free included. And yeah, it's awesome. It's going to be awesome. This is going to be a great journey. Today, we're going to hit 25,000 subscribers. And this is only the beginning. So join my tier. Come trade with me. Let's go make some money. And you guys have a good day.